Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah, this is Brown Family Goods. Thanks so much for being here today. I wanted to share with you what I've been doing over week 3 of Fill the Freezer. So it's just my husband and I endeavor to try to waste less and be a little bit more prepared to cook for 2 people every night for dinner. I wanted to share with you exactly what I made this week to make our life easier and to fill the freezer. What I ended up doing this week was using a ton of eggs. Luckily, we have over 100 chickens and we make a lot of eggs. All 3 of the recipes that I did ended up taking a good bit of eggs, and it's nice to use when they're in abundance. Also wanted to let you know at the end of this video, I'm going to give you the update on where the freezer stands now. I think for now, I am going to push pause on filling the freezer actively, where I was doing something every day or every other day to put into the freezer. At this point, I think I'm just going to go more of, if I can make a double batch of something, then I'll put it up instead of every single day trying to make something to put in the freezer. So let's jump into today's video and I will show you what I made this past week to fill the freezer. We started the week with a baked oatmeal. This oatmeal I wanted to be a higher protein oatmeal, so I wanted to pack in as many eggs as I could. Because number 1, I have a lot of eggs on hand, and number 2, using eggs as a protein is easier on my stomach than using a protein powder or some of the other additives that people use to get higher protein into things like a baked oatmeal. So I wanted to just use eggs, no protein powder or anything like that to add into here. And I will say, this is not my favorite baked oatmeal recipe. I have other recipes for baked oatmeal that are better than this, but they don't take as many eggs. So this is good if you add a little bit of sweetener after you heat it up. It was not very sweet at all, straight out of the pan, which is a good thing as well. It doesn't have to have too much sugar to it. Be sure that you're using nice ripe bananas, and also you may want to add a little bit more sweetener if you do like it to taste sweeter. The peanut butter flavor was good, but again, not my absolute favorite recipe. So anyway, I just divided it into 2 pans. I had these foil pans on hand. You certainly can do this in a 9x13. It may be a little bit thicker though, so you might have to increase the baking time. You just want to bake it until it is completely set, not jiggly anymore or anything like that. Don't overdo it because it could be pretty dry if you over bake it. So it bakes for, I don't know, around 30 minutes, I believe the recipe calls for. I take it out, let it cool completely before I cut it, and then I just ended up portioning mine into some plastic portion containers because I know that Alan likes to take these to work in the morning, and it's just a lot easier to have them portioned out individually. We reuse these containers multiple times, so he brings it home or whatever, and I wash them and reuse them. They're very good for that. So after all is said and done, we ended up with quite a few of these. I think we ended up with like 16 or 18. Next up, I made our absolute favorite meal prep thing, probably. We eat these almost every single week, breakfast burritos. This is a recipe that you can add to if you want to. If you like peppers and onions, which I like them, but I know that Alan is not going to want those in his, so I don't generally add them. This can be the most basic, or you can get even fancier with it. So I just crack a ton of eggs, however many I want, because I knew I was trying to make a double batch of what I usually make. I think I ended up using 16 eggs or so, 12 or 16. Use a stick blender to blend them up. You certainly could just whisk them as well. All you're going to do is cook your sausage, just crumbled sausage, and then cook your eggs however you like them. I always use a little bit of butter and salt, and then you can add to that if you want. So you can always add cheese, of course, potatoes, peppers, onions, other things that you like. Definitely, or you could change the meat out as well to bacon or something else if you prefer. So these are very, very versatile. The tortillas that I use are the low carb tortillas by Mission, I think they're called Carb Counter. and I believe they only have like 2 or 3 carbs each. I use the soft taco size. So these end up being pretty small, but they still are very filling, even for the small size that they are, because they're packed with protein. Set up the assembly line when it comes to getting these together. I use sort of the same size portion scoop for each and every one, and I just do as many as I can with that, you know, without overfilling the tortilla and having them come open. So they're very, very simple to make. Again, add to them what you like and what your family enjoys. All I do to heat them up, if they've been in the refrigerator, they take only about 30 seconds in the microwave if they're thawed out. If they're frozen, they take just a little bit longer, maybe a minute or so. The final thing that I made this week is some French toast. Each week I have been making a loaf of sourdough bread in my bread machine. It turns out excellent. If you haven't seen my YouTube short for that, go ahead and look for it. It's very, very simple, especially in the bread machine. It's so nice, very hands-off. But I generally have, you know, a half a loaf or so left midweek that I'm like, I need to do something with this so that it doesn't get too bad. So on this day, I thought I'm just going to make French toast sticks with this, and then we can take out what we want for a quick breakfast or to have along with an egg or something like that. We love French toast sticks like this, especially if you have good bread to make them with. So all I did, honestly, I used turkey eggs for this because we have turkeys and they're laying eggs right now, and they are laying eggs in abundance right now. So I ended up using turkey eggs, which are a bit bigger. They also have very high protein, like 10 grams of protein per egg. So that's nice too. If kind of add a little protein boost there, and all it is eggs, maple syrup, some cinnamon, some milk, basic French toast ingredients, and then just dunk your bread. Let it soak as long as you want because it is best if it can kind of have some time to absorb into the bread. And make sure that you've got everything coated really nicely in the egg wash, and then just start to cook it up on a griddle or in a pan. And I love my griddle for this. I don't use my griddle for very many things, but when it comes to French toast or pancakes, you cannot go wrong. Or bacon. I actually like to use it for bacon too, because just having that much surface area to work with at one time is just such a game changer when it comes to the speed of how things come together. It takes very little time to cook up a big batch of something. So maybe 30 minutes or so, and I was done cooking up all of this French toast. And that is super nice. The same method goes for this. I let the French toast cool on the counter, but then I put it into the freezer on a sheet tray. That way it could really, really get hard and it wouldn't stick together then when I went to bag it up. I labeled up a zipper bag the same way I have with most of the other things that have gone into the freezer this week, and put it all in there. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this series. It has helped me move the needle forward every single day on filling up that freezer. So I feel a little bit more comfortable now. I've got lots of things on hand that I can easily and quickly pull from at any time. So let me show you exactly what's left in the freezer and what we have stocked up at this time. All right, well, let's take a look then at what kind of progress we made stocking up this freezer. I'm pretty happy with what I have so far. I'm going to keep going. If I have, you know, stuff to make an extra batch of something, if I have a big pack of meat, that type of thing, I'm going to keep filling this freezer as I can. So up here on the top shelf, I'll tell you what we got here. That is those cafeteria style yeast rolls. I still have about at least a dozen or a dozen and a half of those. Plenty, lots of peanut butter cookies left, a few peanut butter chocolate chip cookies left. I've made some of those. Cornbread, this is so good. Alan asked me the first night that we had this. He was like, what kind of cornbread is this? And I was like, well, it's some I made the other day. I just took a couple from the freezer. And he was like, it tastes like homemade. I was like, it is homemade. I made it the other day. This is the banana walnut muffins, still so delicious. I just need to remember to come and grab one of these from time to time. I keep forgetting about those being in there. This is sort of a meal in and of itself. I already had this in here from some extras that I had right before I started this. Taco meat, one thing of like a chicken, fajita chicken, and then some Spanish rice as well. That's that. And then I still have 3 of the fruit cobblers for 2 in there. Those are delicious, easy to take out when you just need something sweet. Okay, here is sort of a meat shelf. This is a pork tenderloin here. This is some chicken cutlets that I had breaded and done a couple weeks before I started this challenge. This is a pork tenderloin from a different time. This one is in a separate marinade than these ones, but I just, you know, they come in like a 2-pack, so I did one for that night and then I put this one away. This is some chicken that I did. It is honey mustard chicken. This is so good baked. I love it baked. It gets really, really tender when you bake that chicken. This is one bacon wrapped stuffed chicken breast. I just had an odd number of those when I made that video from before, and I still have some of that teriyaki chicken left that I made in a separate video. I'll put that up at the top so you can watch that video if you like. This is burger patties. I still have 6 of those left. I think I have 1 or 2 in the kitchen freezer as well. Sweet and sour sauce to go with 3 different packs of ginger meatballs. Those are delicious. I would eat those frequently, but I know Alan gets tired of meatballs. This is the barbacoa. Incredible. The flavor on this is so good. I have the recipe for this on my recipe website. Then down here, this final shelf is breakfast stuff. So the baked oatmeal, some breakfast burritos left, and then some of the French toast is left as well.